Good morning. Windows Daily number 64. Today is Thursday, September 28th, 2022. It's 1 minute past 9 a.m. In California. When Californians are going to see this. In my time zone, it's actually still September 26th on a Monday at 9:55 a.m. because I'm recording this. This is troubleshooting a rack mount file server. There might be 2 or 3 videos on this because there's a couple separate issues. So this one I'm going to address one issue just to show you what the experience is of dealing with an issue on rack mount file servers. So I've got some pictures over here in my iCloud. Now these pictures back here are different. This picture right here is where we're starting with this one. And by the way, that situation that I talked about a couple days ago. Well, on Monday, it was this morning to me, but to you, it's a couple days ago, where those Windows updates weren't working. And this is the message that would happen on the last restart of the computer, where it says we couldn't complete the updates, undoing changes. And then there was also this one about the AVG that I mentioned. That AVG was showing up even though it had been disabled on that computer. So anyway, getting to this rack mount issue. So on a rack mount server, it's commonplace to have these LED screens that tell you what's going on. It's supposed to normally be kind of a light blue color. You'll see that later. But here's an orange message. I went into this office to swap the backup drives. I go swap the external backup drives on this computer. We do cloud backups and we do external drive backups in this office. And I swap out the drives. I used to let them do it, but they didn't keep up with it, and it caused us a severe problem at one point. So now I just charge them for going in and swapping them periodically. So I'm going to play this. We're going to look at what this message is saying right here. Something sensor, redundancy. I'm going to scroll that forward a little bit. Let me turn off the sound that you were hearing was actually the servers running. There are 2 servers running in this rack right now, and you'll get that a little bit later. Loss asserted. Let it scroll back to the beginning of this. There it is. PS, redundancy, sensor, redundancy, lost, was asserted. So PS sensor redundancy loss was asserted. So that's an error message that was being asserted. PS was lost. What is PS? Power supply. Then we'll go on to the next picture. Here's what the rack looks like. There are 3 servers here. That one, and that one. We actually bought 4 servers. The one that was in this slot right here is on the other side of this wall here. I brought it into my lab to do something with it a long time ago, and it's just been sitting. We only use 2 servers at any time. This one up here has the proper blue coloring of what would be a normal LED panel. LED, LCD, whatever. I think that would be LCD, liquid crystal display, but I don't know. And then this one down here, you can see the orange, which indicates something wrong. So when I go swap the drives, I need to remember to just glance at those to see if there's a warning message coming up. To give you a little orientation to this, these drives sitting on top of here, those are spares, so that if one of the drives in the system goes bad, I can swap these out. Now, tomorrow or maybe the next day, I'm going to show something else about how we use these drives. Each of the 2 servers that we're working with right now have 5 drives currently in them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're actually numbered 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit more about those in tomorrow's video or the next day. Down here you can see drives in there, but this server here you can see that the drive bays are empty. That's because we've used them. We bought 4 reconditioned servers many years ago, and we only needed 2. And since we were not buying new, we weren't going to have warranty coverage, I told my client, look, because these are so much, you're saving so much money compared to buying new, we should buy 4 so that we have spare parts to be able to quickly, easily swap things in, because it can be difficult to buy parts for older servers down the road. Maybe it's not hard to find them and order them, but they're probably not going to come next day delivery from Amazon. So we're about to replace these servers. We've got the plan in place to replace these with one new server. We used to need 2 servers. We no longer need 2, so we're going to pare down to 1 server when we get the new server that will have warranty coverage. This right here is a power supply, so the servers are plugged into it to give them battery backup in case the power goes out. This up here is a switch box, so I can press the buttons on the switch box to change what devices, which server the keyboard and monitor and mouse are controlling. And then here's the 2 active external backup drives. Okay, but that's a little bit of an aside. I wanted to give you this orientation because at least tomorrow, maybe the next day too, is going to be more about these servers. Then here's the back side. So remember, we had a power supply warning message. Top server, bottom server. This middle one, you can see there's no power connected to it. So we had a power message. I'm going to go to the next one. This is showing the bottom server. You can tell by the wheels on the platform down here. Here's another battery backup that we use to power. I think we're powering the monitor and the switch box from it. I'm not sure. Here's the 2 redundant power supplies. There you can see a light on this one. This one's active. This light is not on the right-hand side. So there's a problem with that power supply. This is not the first time I've had one of these power supplies go bad. It's very easy to swap them out. I don't have to shut the servers down. That's the whole benefit of having redundant power supplies. I can unplug this power supply and then press this orange lever here, and that power supply just slides out the back. And then what I would do is replace it with, I'm going to go left arrow to go back. I'll pull one of these power supplies out of one of the spare servers and then put it back in. Bada boom, bada bing, Bob's your uncle, and we're back in business. However, not the way it went. Here I got a play button. So this is a video. We're going to see what happened. I'll probably mute the audio pretty quickly because there's nothing significant in the audio. The audio's still muted. Let me go unplug it. This was, I don't remember if this was, what day was this? Oh, this was September 24th, 2 days ago. So that was Saturday. And it's 7:12 a.m. Is that Saturday? Yeah. All right. So here, watch what's happening there. Did we just miss it? I'm going to go back a little bit. That light. Remember that LED light is off, and I go to pull the power plug, and I see that that light flickers as soon as I touch the power plug. The power plug wasn't all the way in. That's an easy fix. Like it when it's easy, right? I don't think there's anything else on this video. Well, what am I doing here? Oh, I just brought the camera up closer. And I've got it pointed to the wrong one. There it is. You can see both lights are on. Now I'm going to press left arrow and go back. Notice you can actually tell that right here looking at the power cord. It doesn't look like it's plugged in all the way. I didn't notice that. I didn't notice it until I went to pull the power plug out. I'm really happy that I happened to catch that. That might not have been the case. I might have just pulled it right out and not have noticed that. So I was happy about that. Then let's see what else we got here. Oh, now the error message is still appearing. Oh, let me go back to the video. I got to show you something else on the video. Bring the video up. When I come up here with the camera closer, there's something else we need to pay attention to. There. See over here on the left, that orange light is blinking. That's indicating an error symptom. So even though the power supply is operational, this is a light on the back telling me there's a problem. So let's go see what that is. We're looking at the front panel here. It says error right there. This photo is not real good. These servers are, all of that fan noise you're hearing, that is constant normal noise in this office. And this is the bookkeeper's office in this office, the office business manager's office. Now they call her office manager. Business manager is the one that makes hiring and firing decisions. This person is the office manager. She hires who can take a day off now and then, keeping track of sick days and payroll and all that. So this really gathers the dust quickly. It's due for a cleaning. And now here's a video watching what's on this screen. So I'm going to start playing that. There's no audio there that we care about. So I just press the check mark to see what more I can find out about the system software event. Is this going to be the power supply event or something else? Event log sensor, event log sensor, log full. Oh, so the log is full. We just recorded a power supply problem. Log full was asserted. So now what do I do to clear out the log? I didn't know offhand what to do. So I go poking around a little bit, trying to figure it out. And then I take, let's see, that's the end of it. Okay, so here, poking around, I'm going through the menu system. I'm thinking there's probably a place in the menu system accessible through these buttons to clear the error log. So here I'm punching through the buttons, the check mark on the top, and then there's a right arrow and a left arrow in order to highlight options. And then to actually select a menu option, you would press the check mark. There's DRAC, IP, and MAC address, and the name, and a number, power, temperature. So I can actually get a power reading. I think I do that here. Yeah, it's pulling 210 watts right now, and then 215 watts. I think that's power supply 1 and power supply 2. I didn't actually see confirmation of that on that screen. And there's another place where I go look at the temperature. I'm scrolling forward here. Here's the temperature showing 28 degrees Celsius. So this information is available. Now, I think if I went into that DRAC option, it might have given me an option to reset the log. I don't think I actually get into it here. Does it do it here? Yeah, I did do it here. So DRAC takes me into IPv4 and IPv6 and MAC address. And no, I did go through that. I did not find a place there to clear the log. So now we'll go on to the next picture. And I think, well, maybe restarting the computer might clear it. Well, I didn't have a whole lot of hopes for that. And then I say here, power supply failed. I did a restart. And when you do a restart on the server, it gives you an opportunity to type in a description of why did you restart the server here? What were you thinking? So I said power supply failed due to loose plug, restart to clear error log on LED screen. I was thinking maybe this will do it. I didn't have real high hopes for that. Now here's what messages that I get when I restart this server. This is very different than what you would see on a normal Windows workstation. It's a Dell PowerEdge R710. So for those of you who want to know what make and model is it, here we go. Here's the choices on startup. I could do F2 for system setup, F10 for system services, F11 for BIOS boot manager, and F12 for PXE utility. So I go into system services, the iDRAC 6 configuration utility. I'm going to scrub forward on here because I don't wind up finding the solution in here. Here's more of the startup message. These startup messages are happening before it goes into that system services screen that I asked for. Here's the network adapter messages, and then the RAID controller messages. Finds 2 virtual drives on the host adapter. 2 virtual drives are handled by BIOS. And then scrolling forward, dragging the playhead forward. So that takes a while. And then here's some more information. The IPv6, I have it disabled. IPv4, kind of an unusual IP address at 238. Initializing UEFI. entering system services, starting unified server configurator. Got a bunch of stuff in here that we could work with. This does not wind up taking me to the solution, although there might have been a path getting through here. I'm not going to take much time in here. If you want to pause and look a little bit more out of curiosity as to what kind of things you would have, well, I'm highlighting those menu options, so I'll let it play through there in case any of you want to go back and look at these a little more. Yeah, I didn't spend a whole lot of time poking around in here. I get rid of that playhead or that pause symbol. I'm going to drag this forward because I don't really need to show all this. I'm rebooting the computer again. And then looking at this screen, that's camera sideways here, still says log full. We can tell that much. And so that, I didn't find a solution there. So what do I get to next? I've got a 50-second video here. Now I did go delete the content that I didn't want to use on this video. Oh, what I'm going here is there's another button over here on the right side that I hadn't tried. And when I press that, it turns briefly to the regular blue coloring, but doesn't really accomplish anything. I'm not quite sure what that button was for, and I wasn't really caring about it too much at that point in time because it just was changing the lighting on there. So I get nothing else out of this. Then we'll go on to the next photo. Shut down to clear power log. Let's see, power log. I'd already. Seems like this picture would have been earlier. Well, the time up here shows if you go back on the video to see, was this photo actually taken before the one where I said I was restarting to clear the log? Well, no, this is clearing the log. Okay, this wasn't trying to clear the power supply event. This is just a toner box right here that I was using to lean my cell phone on to try to get a steady video of that. This server is labeled as comm server. It used to be the communication server to communicate. We had a dedicated connection to another office that was about an hour drive away from us. Through our internet service provider, we had a dedicated VPN connection to them. And this server provided those connections where we had it configured as a, come on, Windows Server calls it, oh, I'm forgetting the name. Maybe I'll think of it later. Somebody will probably put it into comments or in the chat room. You know what I just discovered is it's the comments you guys put in chat during a premiere, that chat doesn't replay later. So those comments are lost. If you got a comment you're adding, such as terminal server, that's it. Terminal server is what we had this set up for. If you're putting something into chat that you think would be useful for viewers later, and I'd really appreciate it if you put it into comments on the video after the premiere is over with. Because apparently chat comments do not replay for premieres. I didn't know that until I looked for chat room comments from a prior premiere this morning. So here I did a Google search. That's it. If you can't find something, Google's your friend. Go search it. So clearing system event. Did I show what I'm? Yeah, here's my search term. Dell PowerEdge R710, how to clear LED log. Did I actually tell us here if it's an LED or LCD? Some of you know that because you just recognize it. I never paid much attention to it. So I'm looking at these, press F2 during post. I didn't trust these summaries that show up in these clips. Turns out none of these were really right. So then here's a detail that I went into. Actually, all R710 systems come with Drac Express installed. This is a response to somebody asked the question, I did not install Drac. How do I get it? And this is a reply saying, well, it's already automatically installed. The Drac Express. It's the simpler, easier system. So you can clear the logs using that. There are two ways to do it. You can reboot during the boot up process, Before the operating system starts to load, you'll be prompted for Control-E to enter the iDRAC screen. Remember earlier I said I think that was the place to go, but not on the LED panel. They do not say that we can do that on the LED panel. Once in that screen, scroll down to System Event Log menu, enter on that, scroll down to clear the system event. So we're going to go do that here. Play this video, scrub it forward. There you see my fingers are ready for Control-E. Waiting for that to come up. Fortunately, these prompts, you have a little time to respond. You don't have to be quite as quick as we do have to be when you're trying to get into BIOS setup. Scrubbing forward again. You can tell by the time lengths on these videos how much time actual time is going past. That's Control-R. That one's Control-S. Waiting for Control-E to appear. There's various different control systems you can get into. It'd be coming up soon. Scrubbing forward, scrubbing forward. There it is. Control-E. Go back there and pause it. So this is IPv4 settings. It's showing me that stuff. And then this Control-E is separate. This is a new command, separate from this stuff up here. So this showed up, Control-E. And I only get that one line to respond to. So paused here. Down here at the bottom is System Event Log Menu. Clicking play again. Here you can see the other things that are available in iDRAC-C. I was in a conference, Mike Smith, some of you know, friend to Kerry Holzman. They used to do the Tech Vets show. He is assisting me with with a couple of clients. He does some higher end server systems that I'm accustomed to. He consulted with me on selecting the new server for this office. And so we talked about using the iDRAC system on the new server, and he gave me a little better orientation than what I was aware of about dealing with that. So here we're loading sensor data records. We're going into this log menu to see, hey, it's full. What's in there? What else is in this log that's been storing up? So here we got this next menu, view system event log or clear the system event log. There's 512 log entries. 512 should be a familiar number to some of you because that's one of the numbers that we get to in computers when we start with working on the base 8 numbering system. Well, we start with 2, really. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, then 16, then 32, 64. You do that enough times and you get up to 512. So here we're viewing this event. Here's the first one I'm looking at, September 7th. So that looks like that must be the oldest entry that's in here. Does it say that? Oh, no, this was in the event log sensor for system board. Log full was asserted. So that's, I guess, when it became full. That was September 7th. I think I'm sure I scroll through some of these. How long before I scroll? Dragging forward. There we go. Here we have a whole bunch of stuff on September 7th. Then we have some September 1st, then August 31st. Some stuff on August 31st. Scrolling July 30th, July 30th. So here we have a power supply sensor. Now this was interesting. Wow, we had a power supply sensor back in May. I'm sure I didn't replace it in that amount of time. But let me point out. PS redundancy sensor for system redundancy loss was asserted. And that was May 15th, 7:56. Let's see what's next. Power supply sensor input loss was asserted May 15th, 7:56. And then what's next? Okay, so I didn't get to it there. What I was trying to get to is that it comes back. Oh, here, input loss was deasserted. Yeah, look at this one. Let me get to this one. Here's another one. May 15th, 7:56. Redundancy sensor for system board redundancy regained was asserted, meaning power is back. And then come back here, input loss was deasserted. So that connection, I think, was loose, and it was kicking out and coming back in, kicking out, coming back in. So I happened to catch it at a time when it was in a disconnected state. So that's what filled up this log, is because these things were happening over and over and over. Enough times to fill up the log. So then did I show actually clearing the log? Yeah, I think this video does. Yeah, here it is. Clear system event log. Ah, there we go. Here it is. I'm scrubbing backwards right now. Okay, so here I click on clear system event log. No or yes. Do you wish to continue? Yes. Now up here, there's only one entry. Okay, so that's successful. Let's go on to the next video. So now the LED is blue again. This is its normal state. I can use these arrow keys and check mark to go through the menu system if I want to display something. And then next, arrowing to the next one. This was just a photo, I guess, showing that it's back to its blue state. And then this photo is the beginning of the next with Windows Daily, or the next Windows Daily premiere. So that's it for this video. There we go. I hope that's been useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.